Howard the Duck is the movie that started the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In 1973, a young man was born named Kevin Feige. He would one day become the head of what we know as the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. And he kind of has taken the helm of this and turned this into this huge, huge thing. And with everything going on with Multiverse of Madness and all the multiversal things going on, we're getting more cosmic beings, we're getting more tie-ins, we're getting variants and things like that. I began to wonder a few things because we're starting to tie back in all these old properties. Everything from Sony is now being tied into the Marvelverse. Everything from Fox and all that is working on being tied in now. All Marvel properties are trying to be tied in. And one in particular Marvel property has been one that is pretty much the most reviled Marvel movie ever. 1986, Howard the Duck. And pretty much everyone is in agreement that it's one of the worst movies of all time. I love it. I love it for the fact that it is one of the worst movies of all time. I love it for the fact that it is such an awful movie that every time I go back and watch it, I just feel that guilty pleasure of this movie that could never be made nowadays, especially a movie that, for its PG rating, has some things that are a little bit further suggested than you would expect to see in most movies. And they're not too shy about saying a few things here and there. But one thing that caught me upon this time of watching it was the opening narration. Something really hooked me when I was listening to it this time around. As it goes, the story begins. We see Howard the Duck walking around on Duck World, and he is doing his daily thing, coming home from work and taking care of everything for the evening, sitting down in his recliner to watch some TV, and then all of a sudden he gets pulled from his apartment, shot off into space, and then the opening narration starts.
The cosmos. Countless worlds upon worlds. Worlds without end. In these galaxies, every possible reality exists.
And I started thinking, with what's going on in the Marvel Universe and bringing in all these old properties, obviously we've seen a new version of Howard the Duck in a few of the movies, being held by the Collector and stuff like that. But is it possible that this old Howard the Duck could still be canon to the MCU? Or is it possible that this movie has somehow always been part of the MCU? And I think it has, and I think I know how. There we are at the very beginning of that movie, stating about a multiverse, stating about the possibility that there could be different forms of life out there on different planets, in different universes, different from our own. They state that right there in that movie. Howard crosses from the duck planet, the duck area, the universe is where ducks are the dominant species, to our universe where humans are the dominant species. Now, think about this. This movie came out in 1986. Kevin Feige would have been 13 in 1986. I know when I was 13, a movie like this would have been awesome. I mean, I love Marvel and all that kind of stuff. Even back then, this kind of movie did speak to me. It did resonate with me. So yeah, for sure, this would be something I would go for. And as a 13-year-old, this would probably be something that would have imprinted on me. And I wonder, is it possible that everything that we have from Kevin Feige now is all because of Howard the Duck? Is it possible that he, back then, watched this movie and was so engrossed and entertained by it that he began forming the Marvel Cinematic Universe even back then, whether consciously or subconsciously? Is it possible that this entire Marvel Cinematic Universe that we have seen come to fruition since the early 2000s, is it possible that this is something that has all along been being planned out by Kevin Feige? That Howard the Duck is actually canon? That it is the movie that started the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I think in a small way, I want to believe that it is. At least that's my opinion. I don't know. You guys have to come up with your own. Hey guys, if you haven't already, please go down to the bottom and click that thumbs up like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, would you please consider subscribing to the channel? And then, if you did both of those things, would you also go down and find that notification icon? It looks like a bell. Click on that and you'll get notified anytime I upload new content. Guys, I love shooting these videos for you, and I hope to be doing this for a long time coming. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Ozzy out. Bye.